I have this battle, I have the devil, like, yeah, you can spend your money, you only live once, it's not gonna, like, when you're dead, you can't spend it. And then there's the other one, like, save it all. I don't know which one to listen to.
Maybe it's just because I'm Nigerian, because Nigerians absolutely like love money and we talk about money all the time. I was always just brought up knowing that money was important. I don't think money equals happiness, but I think money is important.
When you're a child, everything is sort of ingrained in you. I didn't know what anyone earned in my family, and now I find it weird when someone asks me, are you more open with what you earn? Do you tell your friends? Do you tell your mum? Or
yeah, my family I'll tell everything to. But not really with friends, but like back when I was stripping, I'd never want it to come across like I'm bragging.
Yeah.
Especially when they've got like a 9 to 5 that they absolutely like detest.
Yeah, it's still a job and it still has stresses. You do OnlyFans as well, don't you? People won't allow you to feel happy about the money that you make because of the way that you make it. And then you won't in turn want to tell them.
I think because we all get such a hard time, if a girl made like, I don't know how much 1 month, I'd be like, oh my God, I'm so proud of you. And it's like a whole community and we're all so proud of each other.
That's how influencers should be though.
That's probably the hardest I work. Like I remember when I was dancing, but so many galleries doing the absolute
All right,
most.
don't brag. There was one point where I shared my monthly salary on a programme. Just ended up making me feel really awkward and guilty and like I didn't deserve it. I feel like I shouldn't talk about it because I don't want to make anyone else feel uncomfortable, or I don't want to sound like I'm bragging, and maybe kind of deep down don't really feel like you deserve it sometimes.
Also, I don't want to fall out with someone if we're mates and we're working for the same brand. The one time that I did ask this guy, he got paid so much more than me and I was like, ew.
I think with the whole Black Lives Matter campaign, more Black women were speaking about how much disparities there were when it came to like Black creatives implementing on their pay and stuff like that. And it was like very clear that as a Black woman or as a Black influencer, you were not getting paid the same as white influencers. So then we started having these conversations and like I started asking my other friends, what are you getting paid for this job? 9 times out of 10, it wasn't. Even like last week, I actually messaged and I said,
Did you?
I know you're working, but this brand, I'm about to sign a deal with them, but this is how much you're paying, how much are you getting paid? And it was like 4 times more.
Oh, wow.
It was nearly 5. In the influencing world, everyone's so hush and quiet about like
I
how
can
much
vouch
they're
for that.
getting paid. And it's like, if we were just so open, then brands couldn't do it.
I would 100% tell you
to
actually compare it because it makes 0 sense and it's
crazy.
horrendous.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that you are speaking up about it.
Did you go back and tell them, like, you know?
Well, it was very tricky because you don't want to go back and say, well, I spoke to and she said this. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't want to be that person, so pay me this now. But it was more of it like, we know her worth, and we were then able to find a brand that was similar, who understood and appreciated me and was able to tell me that with figures.
There is a little bit of judgment online for buying designer goods, isn't there? I watched like Paris Hilton back in the day. Like, she always had designer things and you sort of had an aspiration to buy designer goods, and my aspirations have changed. I won't necessarily go for designer things. I'd rather buy a sofa or like some gates for my house. But you still can be judged for that on how you spend your money, and it's your own prerogative.
You don't have to apologise for like going out and living your best Paris Hilton life for a minute. We've all done it. Like, that made me feel good for like an hour. Then after that, I'm sitting here with all this expensive around me and I still had like underlying issues that I wasn't resolving. Which, had I spent that money on like therapy or something like that, I would have been a lot happier.
During lockdown, I was sort of going into my wardrobe and seeing like bags and shoes and being like, what good are you now? Like, what is actually around me now is my like friends on the end of the phone, my mum on the Zoom. The things that matter really change to you when you start seeing it like that. I have this battle, I have the devil, like, yeah, you can spend your money, you only live once, it's not gonna, like, when you're dead, you can't spend it. And then there's the other one, like, save it all. I don't know which one to listen to. When I was younger, it was just ingrained in me to like save. I still don't know exactly what I'm saving for exactly. Something's happening. But I keep saving for this big event. I came out of school and I didn't even know what a mortgage was. I feel like you could probably introduce money in a certain way, like how to save.
Yeah.
When you get older, it's just like, bam, now all these bills you got to pay. I'm like, oh my God, mum, help.
If there was like one class you did like once a week, like a life lessons, and you went in for an hour and you learned the business side or the savings part, the finance part of actually living and how you can incorporate that in like your adult life, would probably make such a big difference.
That's
that would be
useful,
so
isn't it?
helpful.